Elite holding midfielders are never out of the game. They pass, scan, move, create a new passing option, and immediately do it again. The same applies without the ball. One defensive action leads straight into the next. In this video, we'll break down why continuity is such a crucial skill for modern holding midfielders and how it can make your game faster, smarter, and more effective. After playing the ball, the midfielder's job doesn't stop. This is one of the simplest examples of continuity, but also one of the most important habits for a modern holding midfielder. After making the pass, he immediately scans the space around him instead of watching the ball. He checks the position of the opponents, looks for the next free space, and adjusts his position accordingly. The important detail is that his movement is connected to the previous action. He doesn't simply run somewhere after passing, he moves because he wants to create a new passing option for the player in possession. This gives the team another solution and keeps the attack moving without losing tempo. For a young midfielder, try to build this habit into your game. Don't think, "I've passed the ball, my job is done." Think, "I've passed the ball, what can I do next?" Here we can see another important aspect of continuity. The midfielder plays a forward pass and immediately starts scanning again. The first passing option has disappeared because the ball has moved, so he needs to create a new one. He changes his position, adjusts his angle, and makes himself available again. Sometimes this movement will be toward the ball, sometimes it will be away from it to create space for a teammate. The key is that the midfielder is constantly connected to the next action. And notice how this also affects the opponents. When he moves again, the defender has to make another decision: follow him, stay in position, or protect another passing lane. One simple movement after a pass can therefore create a new problem for the opposition. That's what continuity is about. Always giving the team another solution. Continuity doesn't always mean creating another passing option. Sometimes the best decision after releasing the ball is to attack space yourself. Look at the movement here. The midfielder plays the pass and immediately recognizes that there is space available ahead of him. Instead of staying behind the ball and waiting for it to come back, he starts moving forward. That run can have two different effects. First, he can potentially receive the ball again in a more dangerous position. But even if he doesn't receive it, his movement can pull a midfielder or defender away and open space for someone else. So the value of the action isn't only in whether you receive the ball. Your movement can change the structure of the opposition and create an advantage for the team. The important habit is to ask yourself, after I pass, is there space I can attack? Now let's look at a more complex sequence. The midfielder receives the ball, plays it forward, and immediately continues his movement. He doesn't wait to see what the teammate will do with the ball. Instead, he scans again and starts preparing for the next phase. This is particularly important for holding midfielders because the position of the ball is constantly changing. 1 second you may be the best option behind the ball. The next second, the team may need you to move higher, wider, or into another passing lane. The best midfielders constantly adjust their position according to the situation rather than staying in one predetermined area. And this is why their movements can sometimes look simple. They're not making spectacular runs. They're making small adjustments at the right moment that keep the team connected and give the player on the ball another option. This principle becomes even more important when the opposition are pressing. Here, after making the first pass, the midfielder immediately becomes available again. The opponent's pressure doesn't stop the sequence. It actually makes his next movement even more important. He scans, recognizes where the pressure is coming from, and changes his position to create a new angle for the next pass. The goal isn't simply to stay close to the ball, it's to position yourself where you can receive it away from pressure and help the team progress. And notice how every movement is connected. The first pass changes the position of the opponents. That creates a new space. The midfielder recognizes it and moves into that space. The next pass becomes available. This is how good teams play through pressure. Not through one perfect pass, but through a continuous sequence of actions. Continuity is just as important when the team loses the ball. The midfielder may have just completed an attacking action, but the moment possession changes, his responsibility changes too. He immediately scans the new situation and identifies what is most important defensively. Maybe he needs to close the ball, maybe he needs to block a passing lane, or maybe the best decision is to recover into a position where he can protect the space behind his teammates. The important thing is that there is no pause between actions. Attack finishes, defensive action starts, and this is where concentration becomes critical. A midfielder who switches off for even 2 or 3 seconds can leave a huge space for the opponent. An elite midfielder stays mentally connected to the game even when the ball is far away from him. Here's another example of defensive continuity. The midfielder starts by closing one passing option, but he doesn't stop there. As the ball moves, the situation changes, and he immediately has to adapt. Maybe the first pass is blocked, so he shifts toward another opponent. Then the ball moves again, and he adjusts his position once more. This means that pressing isn't a single action. It's a chain of decisions. Close the passing lane, read the next pass, move, close another option, adjust again. The best defensive midfielders constantly update their information while the ball is moving. They don't simply follow the ball. They follow the relationships between the ball, opponents, teammates, and available space. That allows them to stay one step ahead and continue influencing the situation even when they aren't directly involved in the duel. And this is probably the most important part of continuity. Elite holding midfielders don't treat every action as an isolated event. They don't think, I made the pass, now I wait. They think, I made the pass, what happens next? That mindset changes everything. After the pass, they scan. After scanning, they move. After moving, they offer another option. If the ball is lost, they immediately switch into defense. If the team regains it, they immediately look for the next attacking action. This requires concentration, awareness, anticipation, and most importantly, the willingness to stay involved in every moment of the game. For a young player, this is one of the biggest differences you can make in your game. Don't just perform actions, connect your actions. That's what makes a holding midfielder continuous, reliable, and difficult to play against. Let's recap. Never switch off after your action. The next action starts immediately. Pass, scan, move, and offer yourself again. Attack space when it can create an advantage, even if you won't receive the ball. Constantly adjust your position according to the ball, opponents, and teammates. When possession changes, your role changes immediately. Think in sequences, not isolated actions. ForPro is about developing this type of tactical understanding, helping players understand not only what to do, but when, why, and what comes next. Check the link in the description to learn more about our individual analysis and player development services.